Good day, this is War and Strategy Gamer. My name's Nick, and today I'm going to talk about accessories in tabletop games. And to do this, I've got two games out, the games I've kind of invested in the most. We've got Warhammer 40k and we've got Guild Ball. I think these are the perfect two examples of accessories and enhancing your game. So let's just sort of chat through it and see whether the accessories make of the game. Does the accessory make the game better? So let's start with something as simple as rulebooks. So both of these actually kind of have a similar thing where you can get hold of the core rulebooks. I got Guild Ball through like a set, so a boxed set with Warhammer 40k. I brought everything individually, so I pretty much started from scratch. So with Guild Ball, what I have is the Season 3 rulebook, which is just a basic rulebook with no real story or anything like that, but they do a big hardback rulebook like Warhammer 40k. It's just that I don't have it. Do I feel like I'm missing out because of that? Yeah, a little bit. I do like the Warhammer 40k one. A lot of that's to do with sort of artwork and backstory of Warhammer 40k. So first of all, rulebooks. So I think if you can afford it or stretch to it, and sometimes it's a case of, for the price of a rulebook, you get a whole team of players in Guild Ball, or maybe a different accessory. So it really comes down to your own point of view on that one. So the first one, in terms of rulebooks, I like them. I wish I would have got another. I wish I would have got the sort of main rulebook. Obviously, there's the age-old thing with rulebooks where, they bring out version 4, version 5. I'm sure there'll be a Warhammer 40k version 9 soon, and it pretty much just sort of annoys you because you've spent so much money on the books. But that's sort of number one. And then number two, and this is specific to Warhammer as opposed to Guild Ball, is you've then got the codexes. So when you first start, you've got the Index Imperium 1. I'm a Space Wolves guy, so I had Space Wolves within Index Imperium 1. So I brought an index. I actually also have this index because I've got a backup sort of Orc army in case a friend comes around that doesn't normally play, so we can play a game together. So, because it's a friendly game, I'm playing it with someone who doesn't play that much, so they're not that into it. Actually, the fact that I don't have an all codex doesn't matter, but because I'm into Space Wolves and I may want to play it a little bit more competitively or a little bit more seriously, then I have the Space Wolves codex. So again, do you need a codex? Well, up to you. You can stick with the index and you can pretty much have lots of different armies, play soup, do what you like, play your own game with the indexes. But if you're a little bit more into it, then obviously you do want the Space Wolves codex. The only problem is if you're not really into it, you then need the FAQs and the updated annual books. And to be honest with you, it's a little bit of a nightmare. So that's sort of stage one. We've got rule books. And then stage two, I suppose, what we've got is card packs. So here what I have is we have Guild Ball plot cards for season 3. Guild Ball plot cards for season 3, and we have open war cards, we have tactical objective cards, and we have the Space Wolves data cards. So are these worth it? Well, kind of I'd say, if anything, the Space Wolves was probably the most worth it for me personally, because I'm a Space Wolves player, and that's cool. I do like the tactical objectives card. So if you weren't aware, the tactical objectives cards are basically in the main rule book. So you're basically having something you can put in your hand, you can put next to the table, and you don't have to constantly open that page within your sort of Warhammer 40k rulebook. And again, with the open war, they're not essential, but if you play it quite a lot, it helps with mixing up the rule set. So I'd say definitely the interesting thing is for both of these games, these card sets just aren't required for starters. So if you're a beginner player, don't go for the cards. It's probably not worth your money. If you're more slightly intermediate to advanced player looking to mix things up, definitely go with the cards. Okay. So I'll move these out the way. Coming up next, what we have is official terrain. So in both these games, you can make your own terrain. I will finish this 40k terrain at one point, I promise. So in both cases, you can make your own terrain. So Guild Ball's got a terrain set, and so has this one's actually specifically for the starter set. And for Warhammer 40k's also got its own terrain, lots of it in fact. I like it because it's thematic, particularly Warhammer 40k. Now interestingly, both of them have gameplay implications. So terrain is important to play the game. In fact, it's essential to play Warhammer 40k. It's not essential to play Guild Ball. I do think after sort of your main team in Guild Ball or your main army in Warhammer 40k, you're either going to be making terrain or you're going to want terrain to sort of spice up the game. With Guild Ball, it actually makes it a little bit more difficult. With Warhammer 40k, you need terrain to block line of sight to make it, a halfway interesting game. Otherwise, it's just a big open field that you're running across. So I think definitely, when it comes to it, thematic terrain is really important. Now, the second layer I'd say of sort of thematic is the dice. So if I look here from Warhammer 40k, I've got two sets of the official Warhammer dice. I've got the command dice and I've got the wound trackers. And then for Guild Ball, these are the dice that came with Guild Ball. And then for the engineers and the alchemists, I also have these updated dice. And for me, it makes a massive difference. I love the dice. So I'm going to say, definitely for Guild Ball, you want to update the dice. It just adds to that quality feel. It's not essential for Warhammer, but obviously, in some cases in Warhammer, you need a lot of dice. If you don't have a lot of dice, then it's really helpful. Command dice not essential. Wound trackers not essential at all. Personally, up to personal preference. So this is where we kind of Guild Ball and Warhammer 40k gets separated, and that is there is so many additional essentials with kind of Guild Ball that I have that I don't have for Warhammer. So for Warhammer, I just have a normal tape measure, and I feel that's the best way to play. But there's lots of different measuring tools because in Warhammer, sort of your range, your weapon range, your movement range has a wide variety of options. You kind of need the flexibility of a tape measure, but when it comes to Guild Ball, there's not that many. So I have this set of measurements here, measured between 5-6 inches, etc. All the ones that came with the official board game are all cardboard, so they're not very high in quality. But these measuring sticks are really cool, and I've got these ones which are for sort of 6 and 8 inch variety, where you can see it actually goes against the player and then goes into the thing, so that adds sort of an extra amount to it. And then also what I have sort of damage tokens and trackers, which you kind of need to play the game. So you've got 3 options there. The base game comes with these cardboard ones, which obviously aren't particularly attractive. Your next level is if you've got your official ones from Steamforged Games, and they release these sort of individual team, let's just call them tracking and damage trackers. And then finally you've got sort of the Muse on Mini sets, which really is your high-end stuff. So you can see if you put these Muse on Minis next to the official Guild Ball set, they are just that extra level of quality, which I personally really like. So I like these sort of additional rulers. They're not just thematic, they're actually, and we've got the Guild Ball logos over them, they actually make a difference because of the way you're playing Guild Ball and you're constantly sort of using measurements and feeling around. It feels a lot more natural to use these in Guild Ball than it does in 40k. So I don't think you need any particular special measurement tools for 40k, but in Guild Ball, actually, it makes a massive difference to the look and the feel of the game. So I think, once you've got your team together, you obviously need your thematic tokens. If you're looking for the next thing to get, rulers are definitely a good option there. Finally, in Guild Ball, what I have the official mat. So the starter set comes with cardboard base, and quite frankly, this is like a mouse mat, and it's so much better. A couple of things about it is, one, when you roll dice on it, it kind of sounds like you're playing a game of billiards, so it sounds a lot nicer, and also it just feels a lot better. And the cardboard pitch actually has a slice in the middle. Now what Guild Ball say is it's 3 foot by 3 foot, and you can basically make your own fields like you could with Warhammer 40k. So the similarities are you can basically just invent your own pitch. It's a lot of effort. If you've got the time to do so, more power to you. So in summary, let's have a look at all these. I think personally, particularly with Guild Ball and Warhammer 40k, because they are such fleshed out universes. These little extras, like I say, the thematic extras that add to the game, and I think they're really worth it. I think they're well worth it. I think, yeah, you could probably potentially have brought another game for them, or more items for your army for the amount that I've spent on these accessories, but to me it's really important. So I do believe that accessories make it for the game. What do you think? Do you think accessories are important? Do you think the accessories make the game? Do you think the accessories add to your experience? Let me know in the comments down below. Bit of a different video today. I know it's a bit shaky hand cam. Don't have the technology to do this properly, but just wanted to sort of take strides into the tabletop world. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you for your time. Good day.